Congratulations on reaching a decade milestone. Could you share with us what is so special about today?
So today is Padwa. We call it Gudi Padwa in Maharashtrians, but Padwa marks the first day of the year in a lot of communities across India. 10 years back, on this very day of Gudi Padwa, we launched SaffronStays website. So therefore, it's extremely important and extremely, special to us because this is a day that we, Devin and I, announced our ambitions, we announced our vision about SaffronStays, and we put it out there for everyone. We just set it out in the open.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
If you imagine SaffronStays' website, if it had a magic button that could solve a problem instantly, what would that be?
Is there a secret? Is there one problem?
Oh.
I think that there are multiple problems. I think.
So
And,
hospitality industry as such is full of moving parts.
Yeah.
It's not that you build out a product and then the factory just replicates that product and flawlessly. Hospitality industry is about ensuring that you get it right every single minute, every single day for the same home or the same room for different guests, right? And that means that there could be a million variables that could potentially go wrong. So these are all the moving parts that typically occur in a hospitality business. The idea was to scale this business in the best possible manner by leveraging a mix of the best technologies that the world can bring to the table, the best processes that we could lay down, and the best people that you could hire either from colleges or from the hospitality world or from the world of travel, bring them all together and create a world-beating product. So is there one single button? No. There are many buttons that you need to handle. Sometimes we feel we are like the pilots of a Boeing 380 or A380, and we are looking at millions of cockpit controls, and still after a point we aspire to put it on fly-by-wire and take a beautiful nap, and hopefully the plane still takes off, cruises and lands. That's the end state.
So it sounds like a roller coaster journey. In that, I would like to ask if there was one error or a failure in the process of building this business that you will never forget.
I think that we should do.
So I think the biggest mistakes as entrepreneurs we make, and I hope that no other entrepreneur ever makes this mistake, is to not hire the right talent. At crucial junctures within your organizational story, you're tempted to listen to the so-called wise people who come and say that, look, we've done it before and we will solve
This is how it's done.
This is how it is done. And unfortunately, that's not how it is. When you're a startup, when you're a new organization, and when you're challenging the status quo, and when you're challenging the way things are done in an industry, then the first thing you need to do is look for talent, look for people who are out to disrupt the ways of doing things and not necessarily conform to the old ways of doing things. So if there's one mistake that we would never ever repeat, is we would never ever listen to somebody and hear these words, this is how it is done.
Correct. No, I completely agree, and I think this not just applies to us, but like Devin said, to any startup which is first here to be a challenger to an existing, well-settled industry or a well-settled business, and you're trying to look at new ways of doing things because maybe the old ways are not answering today's questions and tomorrow's questions of tomorrow's consumers. So if you keep yourself shackled with the same old thoughts, you will perhaps not do what you came there to do.
For example, if you look at our industry, if you look at the conventional hotel industry, you're looking at 100 rooms, 200 rooms, 400 room inventory, which means even the technology systems need to be geared for handling 400 rooms and that kind of volume. But who are we? I mean, we run vacation homes which are 3 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, right? So if I adopt the same operating systems and the central reservation systems and the property management systems that hotels use, then am I not using a sword when all I need is a blade to shave?
Absolutely. So looking back, I would ask, what's one feature or aspect of the website that you are most proud of developing or implementing over the past decade?
There's one feature on our website called Real Moments. Now, in my business, the biggest barrier that a customer has is they do not trust the photos that one sees of the hotel room, on the website. Oftentimes, when they go to the place, it's extremely underwhelming. But if you look at our product and the villas and the vistas that you see in front of the villas, the verandas, the experience of spaces which you're not restricted to when you go to, unlike when you go to a hotel. Most often our guests come back and says, you know what, Devin, the photographs simply don't do justice to the property.
Correct, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've heard that often, right?
Very often.
So
It's
to
very difficult to capture a lot of things like the vistas, like you rightly said.
Or your children playing in the playground,
Yeah,
or your
absolutely.
dog running around, or
Correct.
the dog running into the pool, right? So some of these things are never captured well in a traditional photography or a traditional videography, right? And that's where Real Moments comes in, where we welcome or we invite our guests, our homeowners, our caretakers, our supervisors, our staff, to capture real moments of customers interacting with our product, which is our home, and our tagline, which is where families bond. So we would love to capture their special moments where they are bonding as a family, and that we would love to capture on our website and let the whole world see them for how the product is in real cameras.
So, as you shared, where families bond is the tagline of SaffronStays. Could you share with us what's the purpose of the brand SaffronStays?
So about, I think, 8 or 9 years back, we started thinking about exactly what you're saying. What exactly is the purpose of SaffronStays? And of all the things, we realized that all our guests, what they come to look for is a place where they can celebrate, they can be together, they can be with their families, they can be with their friends, they can be with their cousins, they can be with their colleagues. And we realized very soon that the concept of a family, right, is kind of ever evolving, it's ever changing. It's not necessarily the blood ties, which people call family anymore. It's close friends that you've grown up with, it's school friends, college friends, it's buddies from work, it's your gym friends, it's your marathon friends. So all sorts of support systems, groups, people who come together. And what we are creating essentially are spaces. We are creating that sort of infrastructure where these families and these friends can come together and spend some very precious moments and create memories. So, in a nutshell, I think where families bond is the tagline that is here to stay. We want to own that space. We really want to own that thing, and we really want to take it forward in the next 10 years. We want to kind of see it.
We are honestly in the business of bringing friends together, bringing families together to celebrate special occasions. Now, case in point, your children are going, they have finished their education in India and are going out of the country. You want to give them a wonderful send-off. Case in point, your MBA friends have all come together to town and you want to celebrate a momentous occasion together. Case in point, it's a retirement party for a senior colleague of yours and you want to throw a brilliant party. Case in point, it's a Mehndi function and you don't want the cliched banquet hall where you throw this party. Again, case in point, it's a celebration of sort, a milestone birthday. And again, you don't want to celebrate in a restaurant by blocking out one area. You would rather have the entire villa to yourself.
And like a whole weekend.
And like a whole weekend, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Correct. So
anniversaries,
anniversaries.
Of parents.
So we as Indians have friends in different parts of our life. Okay, for example, our children are growing up and the PTA parents, they become your family for the next 12 years, right? So like this, the definition of family for us, according to us, has changed or is changing, will continue to change.
Yeah.
But what remains constant is the need of us as a social animal to bond, to come to a place, and that is the business that we are in. SaffronStays is a platform to bring people together in spaces where they can come together and celebrate and create new memories. So our vision statement, our purpose of this organization will never change. It will always remain the same, where families bond. What type of spaces? Today it's villas, tomorrow I don't know what it will be. It will be some houseboat maybe. It could be a yacht. No clue. And I'm just manifesting things here. But you get it, right? I mean, the space is incidental to our business. We are in the business of bringing people together.
So the purpose of SaffronStays is very clear and it's very beautiful, that it's a place where families bond, and like families face unexpected challenges. I'd like to ask, what was the most unexpected challenge you faced when launching SaffronStays brand 10 years ago, and how did you overcome it?
So I'll talk about the challenge and Devin can talk about how we overcame it. I mentioned that 10 years back on Gudi Padwa Day we launched the website, but what very few people know is that 2 days before we decided to launch, or the expected launch date, our tech team, which was an outsourced team at that point of time, just walked out on us. And we were actually sitting in Mathiran, right? We were actually sitting in Mathiran and we had taken some time off with our family, and on the phone we just figured out that our tech team has just stopped responding to our calls, they stopped doing any kind of work, and we did not have a landing page to show. And we had already declared to the world that first April, I think that was
31st March.
31st March, yeah, 31st March, and Gudi Padwa Day we are going to launch, and we just didn't have anything to show, right? So that was the challenge. And Devin, why don't you talk about how?
No, so I think the challenge was very clear that despite being somebody from the technology world, we couldn't assemble a team of technology people who will actually help us build an e-commerce platform that we had aspired to build. And I thought to myself that, look, here's a critical moment in our lives where we have to either abandon this dream and say, okay, we tried, we couldn't, or do something totally different which we would not never dreamt of. So at an age of 40, I went on to Amazon.com, purchased some orally publications books on how to start coding in PHP, MySQL, and so on and so forth. And for the first time, after many, many years, learned to code all over again a website. Somehow managed to convince the outsourced tech team to give whatever lines of code that they had written out. And mind you, they had done a good job. They had used object-oriented PHP, which held us in good steam for many years. But then gave us a very small little kernel based on which we had to develop the rest of the website, which is more than 100%. Probably they just had 0.1% of what was needed. And over the next 6 months, and I told her, look, come what may, we got to do this, and I have no idea whether I'll succeed, but let me just learn. And I used to have a day job. In the night, I used to study and then code lines, study somebody else's code and then write code on top of it. And we managed. I mean, over the next 6 months, we somehow managed. We hired a lone coder on Upwork from Himachal Pradesh, Rahul. And Rahul and I used to work through the night. Between us,
you had that relays, right?
We used to have a relay.
He would work during the day, pass on the code to you in the evening,
night,
and then Devin would sit in the night and actually read his code, see whether there are any problems with it, give his feedback in the morning, and then Rahul
again he used to code.
So it was like a
literally a 24/7 kind of
sort
a thing.
of a relay happening all the time, and this went on for quite some time.
But one ground lesson this taught us, and we come from professional worlds where we had assistants and secretaries and teams and everybody to do, from bringing a cup of chai to probably doing everything. Your wish was your command, and here was a reality check where if you want to be an entrepreneur, your wish is your own command, right? And you got to do everything. So even today, we've realized that we never ever shy from doing the smallest of the tasks in our organization to the biggest of the tasks in the organization. So Tejas keeps calling herself from peon to CEO, everything. So, as an entrepreneur, that's if you're ready for that, and if you're willing to do everything it takes, then entrepreneurship is the game.
So, in last 10 years, you've faced the most unrealistic challenges, and now you've come out so far, and you have 280 plus homes all across India. This must be hell of a ride. I would like to ask about your further expansion plans and any particular ones that you are excited about.
So I think 280 is just a small number. I think in the last 10 years, what we have achieved is we've assembled a crack team. We've assembled a mafia. We've assembled the best brains that can potentially be brought together. I think that's our biggest achievement in the last so many years. The second thing that we've achieved is a very, very robust technology platform which we can unlock to the entire world. So 280 can become 2.8 million and the system will never collapse. That's the kind of robustness that we have built out for ourselves. And the processes that we've engineered, the SOPs that we have drafted, I don't think there is any company out there who's now ready to scale as we are at this point of time. So in line and keeping with our vision of where families bond, and nothing changes there, we will unlock spaces in the next decade and many, many more decades to come, where the single intention is to build out a legacy for ourselves and for our people and for our company, where we would be super proud to look at a brand that we would have created many years from now.
No, I think absolutely perfectly summarized as a vision. Yeah.
We've learned a lot from you, and if you could sum up the upcoming next decade of SaffronStays in just 3 words, what would they be?
Growth.
Growth.
What?
Trust.
Trust. Yes. So trust, credibility. It's one word. What could be the third one?
Excellence.
Excellence.
I think we would, at any stage, we want to be known for these 3 things. So whether it's the customer's trust, whether it's our employees' trust, whether it's our investors' trust, whether it's stakeholders' trust, I think we would never, ever, ever, ever want to break that trust. I think that's important to us. And one of the ways to do it is to have another level of excellence, process excellence, people excellence, technology excellence. Never accept B-listers in your team. Always go for A-listers in your team. And of course, the growth. I mean, we're doing this to grow. We're doing this to scale. But try and understand, we took 10 solid years to get here. You might look at 290 and seem like it's a very small number. But trust you me, we were perfecting. We were perfecting processes, people, technology. And we strongly believed that growth for the sake of growth is cancer. And we would love to grow in a very systematic, organic manner. So here in from now, so this 290 in the next 10 years would easily be 2,900. Or even more, maybe 5,000. Yeah. And the systems, processes, people, everything is engineered right now that most of our heavy lifting is done. So I think it's just about scaling in an excellent manner and winning the trust of our people.
Yeah. So I think the foundation, the building blocks, is all there. Now it's about kind of layering it with which is where the growth will actually come in from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we overestimate what can happen in 2 years, but we underestimate the power of a decade. And I think I want to present that as our next challenge, that we are not here to just look at the next 2 years and promise some supernormal growth, but we are here sure that the next decade will be a super exciting decade for all of us, for all our guests, for all our investors, for our employees, everybody.
You did mention about trust of your customers, trust of your audience. So my next question is further diving into the same and asking you, what do you envision as your target audience for the next decade?
So I think our target audience would remain travelers and sorry, not travelers, but families and friends and groups of people who are looking for great places to spend their time in, their quality vacations in. Because why trust is important is because holidays are special, holidays are precious, and it's precious time that people are spending, and therefore they don't want to take chances with what they're spending time and their effort. not just money, but time and effort on, right? And we want to ensure that we are so trustworthy and so credible to our customers that they never have to think twice when they choose a Saffron Stays, that okay, you know, I am going to get this, I am going to get this, I'm going to get this. So there are going to be things that come with a Saffron Stays promise, and we wish to deliver that 100% at all times, every single time.
You're trusting us with your time. You can take back an experience of certainty, guaranteed.
Taking the audiences through your last 10 years at SaffronStays must be a nostalgic journey for you. This would be my last question. What would be the brand tagline in the coming decade of SaffronStays as a brand?
The brand tagline stays the same, which is where families bond. And I think we explained this earlier also, that families as a concept is evolving. It's evolved over the past many years. It will continue to evolve. But whatever form and shape that family takes, we are here to ensure that you have a great time at all points of time.
Yeah, whether it's your four-legged furry pet of yours, or it's a grandfather, or whether it's your same-sex partner, whether it's your in-laws, whether it's your office colleagues, whether it's your PTA school friends, parents. It could be any set of friends and family, and we will continue to own that tagline of where families bond and celebrating togetherness with your friends and family.